Today, I will meet the world with both feet firmly planted and my heart wide open. I will feel the strength of my foundation, a reminder that I am supported, connected, and part of something larger. Within this sense of steadiness, I allow my heart to soften. Not forced, just a gentle loosening, enough for light to get in, enough for wonder to breathe. I will let curiosity be my compass. What's ahead is not something to control or manipulate, but rather something to explore. Every interaction, every moment, an opportunity to learn, to be surprised, to expand. When my mind rushes ahead or fear narrows my view, I will remind myself to return to that rooted strength. From the ground up, I have room to rise, and from the heart out, I have space to expand. May I move through today anchored in myself, yet open to the beauty and possibility that comes when I meet life with a curious, open, receiving heart. Well, hello, friends. Welcome back. Another episode of the deMysticism podcast. Sacred conversations about radical self-love. And, all kinds of other random things. But I hope you enjoyed that new intro. I recorded something new just because I felt inspired. Not that I don't still love that previous meditation, but I make these as custom meditations to use for myself. I can make you one if you are interested. Reach out to me. It is an offering that I haven't put together on my website yet. But anyway, not a sales pitch. I really wanted to put something together that spoke to setting an intention for the day, having an open heart, and being curious. And I never know what I'm going to want to talk about every time I sit down to chat on this podcast. And life continues to be just a speed train and a roller coaster. And I reflect on the past week and my head just wants to explode. So many things, some that I really can't even talk about yet, but leaning into the unfolding, right? Like there is so much uncertainty in my life right now, and yet I'm somehow ridiculously calm and peaceful. This is not how I've known myself to be historically, but there is some level of just trust I have right now and curiosity, right? Like I am having opportunities come to me because I am leaning into this idea of I don't want to force life anymore. I think it works so much better, the idea of flow, and particularly when we are leaning into a more feminine nature, it really truly does work better somehow when you almost try less. And I don't mean be lazy and sit around and do nothing, but to release the striving and the pushing and the I have to chase everything, but instead allowing things to come to me and truly sitting in a state of curiosity and wonder and like, wouldn't it be fun if, right? So I was having a conversation over the last few days, actually with my partner, and just around the idea of intentions and whether or not they're important or they work, or some of it is just semantics around. I like to spend time really thinking about what I'm wanting to create, but at the same time, releasing any attachment to the outcome. And every human is different. Everybody's way for creating their life is going to be different, and what's effective is not a one-size-fits-all thing. So, he in particular it's not a practice he finds useful or needs to do, and that's perfectly okay. So I just want to speak a little bit to how that works for me. And I'd love if, this is supposed to be conversational. So if anybody wants to leave comments or reach out and share their experiences, I'm very, very open to that. But I am finding that for me, I really think that every moment that you are out in the waking world. Actually, even when you are subconscious, when you're sleeping, when you're in the non-waking world, you actually are setting intentions. Everything that you do is like a spell, like you're casting spells all day long. I've been really leaning into the witchiness. The very first episode of this podcast, I spoke to the idea of a witch wound and owning my own magic and my own ability to call in and create is it's been wild because I'm seeing things unfold in just mind-blowing ways, and it makes me kind of think, okay, that there is something to this idea of you don't have to put your intentions on paper, you don't have to speak them to another human being, but you are casting spells and putting intentions out there all the time. And casting spells may make people uncomfortable. But I like that as a context for what you do say out loud, whether it's praise to another human, whether it is a complaint, and even what you don't say, but what is going on in your internal environment. All of this is truly spellcasting. I mean, they call it spelling for a reason. Language matters, words matter, but those are the devices we've created to give our intentions power, to bring them to life, is through our breath and this tool of our body called our tongue and our voice box, and that creates a vibration. This is how you're hearing my words, but it's also the energy that vibrates out into the world and then reverberates and comes back. So how are you approaching the world with a sense of curiosity and owning that you are constantly setting intentions and casting spells, and how is that being reflected back to you? If everything in our life shows up as a mirror, then we have to own what we see in that mirror. Again, it comes back to this is you creating your experience. This is me creating my experience. We are like really powerful beings when we can get the heck out of our own way and see what's there in front of us. So, I've had some just wild, unexpected, incredible opportunities dancing in front of me, and whether or not they pan out, I mean, I'm in a crazy, weird, relaxed state about all of it. I probably should be starting to feel concerned about money coming in, and yet I don't. I'm doing what feels aligned when I feel called to do it, as far as how I am putting out offers to share my gifts with the world. I really only do it when it truly feels aligned and it feels good and right. And I do it with very clear intention for sharing, for being in a place of love. And this all sounds so damn cheesy, but I've let go of that too. I mean, I do think that when we come back to love, we really do come back to the essence of source of our humanness. And, yes, there are plenty of human beings or other that operate from a sense of fear. I'm not here to play with that. I am here to come from and emanate love from the standpoint of, I just know that's the fuel that keeps things turning, and it is what will ultimately either keep us here on this planet or, I guess, release us from this planet. I don't know. I don't know totally what I believe in that regard, but we are here to learn. We are here on a journey, and it's a lot more fun if we're just curious and almost childlike in what will happen if I follow this, and not get so clingy and attached to what will happen if I fail? What will happen if this doesn't go my way? Because what if you just let it happen? What if you trust that maybe you don't always know that your way is what's best? I don't know. I'm probably not even making sense. But I really do want to invite anyone who's listening to get deeply, deeply curious about how you are showing up in the world. And not from a place of judgment. Please, please, please don't take this as an invitation to be like, gosh, I've been doing so poorly in this area, or to dive into your ego and be like, I'm fucking great. We're all both. And yeah, you are fucking great. And yeah, you're probably kind of a jerk sometimes. So am I. So is everyone. But instead of, judging either way in that direction, I would say, how are you choosing to move about? How you carry yourself, it casts a spell. The words you speak cast a spell. The way that you choose to present. I mean, we don't want to judge a book by its cover, but we all judge a book by its cover. Let's just be honest about that. So you can customize this avatar that you are walking around in to your heart's content, and understand that it is going to influence the experience that you have out in the world. So, I mean, you can experiment with that, right? Go out in the world looking a certain way, and then go out in the world looking another way, and see what happens for you. See where you feel most authentic, because that's where you're going to create and receive from the purest things. But how can you really approach with a clean heart, with an open heart, with the inquisitiveness to see where the path will go if you just relax, if you just follow the little nudges, the little pings, and then maybe you go down one path and you see that maybe that wasn't the right path, and that's okay. Maybe again, there is always that opportunity. So I don't think I have any huge, profound lesson here. Like, I really want these to be valuable episodes, and I keep thinking I need to deliver some golden nugget. And sometimes I just ramble about nothing. But my intention when I started this was to share my journey. And it started because I was struggling with some really uncomfortable physical things, which they seem to have alleviated, and things seem to be moving in such a beautiful direction where I feel seen and honored, and noticing myself willing to receive the love that's being shown to me. And I don't mean just from my partner, and he's freaking fantastic, and I'm sure nobody really wants to hear me gush about that, but it's beautiful to be able to talk about that and call in more of that. And I'm recognizing that I am getting that love back from my yoga students, from people that come to my sound healings, from people that I interact with, because I am just settling into my pure, authentic self. And everything I do is just, for the most part, coming from love. Yeah, I still have moments. I'm not perfect. But even my relationship with my daughter seems to be getting better, because I've created enough space in my life now where I'm unraveling that corporate stress, and I can be softer, and I can take my time with things, and it creates so much more space for joy and peace. And gosh, a relaxed nervous system is really freaking powerful. So that's where I'm at with this. I will invite you, as I wrap this up, to get curious about what you want to create, how do you want to create it, and what are 3 little ways that you can move about the world today, this week, this month, from a place that is aligned with your true intention for how you want to be in the world, for what you want to be perceived as, or even what you want to receive back. And I think at its core, most of us really want to come from love. We want to be loved. We want to give love. Even those that don't appear to come from that paradigm, I promise you it's what they're craving. We all are. That is just a human need, a basic human need to be loved and to give love, and to appreciate the whole variety of experiences that we get to have along that journey. So, I don't know. I'm going to leave it at that. I have no idea what I just babbled on about, but maybe these podcasts will get a little more coherent as I move through this process. But for today, it's Tuesday when you'll be listening to this, or at least when it gets released. Happy August. I hope it's going really, really well for you. Hard to believe that we are heading into the final quarter of 2025, and I feel like I just woke up yesterday and it was January 1st, and now we're halfway through August. So I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to keep trusting. Just keep trusting. All right. Sending you all tons of love, and I will talk to you next week.